What is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys being a part of the post-game show here. Go live on Instagram here for a quick second. All right, we got all the streaming services. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me just jump into it. I might be way late on it, but give me 2 seconds. I'm going to try to share my screen here and see if there's anything left from Anthony Davis. He's on Spectrum right now. Let's take a quick listen. Take a
He
listen.
just grabbed the offensive rebound over your head and you couldn't do much about it.
Yeah, man, he's a special talent, man. To be 7'3", 7'2", 7'3", 7'4", and do what he's able to do, to shoot the three, put it on the floor, pass. It's nothing that he really can't do. So he's only going to continue to get better and better in this league. But it's always fun going against him. I know it's going to be a tough matchup every time we play. So I got the first one of the season, but I know it's going to be tough. We had great battle last year when we had the back-to-back here. Me and him down the stretch going at it. So I love going against Wemby. He brings the best out of me. I bring the best out of him, and we just two guys out there competing.
All right, thanks, AD. Want to know in the NBA Cup?
Sir.
All right. Anthony Davis right there. I just wanted to catch the tail end of it. Didn't get a chance to hear any of the beginning part. We'll get a chance to hear from JJ Redick, LeBron, Anthony Davis. We'll go tonight. What the hell do we got to do? It's a Friday night. We get to enjoy a nice Lakers win. Big win. I'm going to kind of emphasize this as we go through the postgame show. I thought tonight was a really, really big win for the Lakers. I knew tonight was going to be a tough game. San Antonio Spurs, they're playing better ball. They're sitting at 6-6. How are you going to get the win? It would have actually been a really disappointing loss if they got it. Just on how the Lakers were playing, they set themselves up. They put themselves in a good position. AD was on Spectrum. LeBron was on ESPN since the broadcast was on ESPN. And, he just kind of went out of his way. He's complimenting Max Christie. D'Angelo Russell had some big moments. You could kind of go down the list with some of these Laker players. This wasn't one of those games where it was just LeBron and Anthony Davis, which is very, very encouraging. So, again, Lakers over the Spurs, 120-115. If you're just getting in here right now, thank you for being here. We're going to spend at least 45 minutes. We'll see. Maybe we go an hour tonight, just depending on the flow of the show and comments and everything else. But we got a lot to get into. I do want to spend some time. I thought we had finally a moment from Max Christie this year where he looked comfortable, where he looked like he didn't hesitate, where he looked like he actually looked like an NBA basketball player out there that can be useful for the Los Angeles Lakers, which is exactly what everyone was hoping for before the season started. We watched the best player in the NBA today. I'll say it again. There's no hesitation here. The best player in the world right now in the NBA is Anthony Davis. We saw him drop another 40 points and 12 rebounds. Bron got his 4th straight triple-double. Not a perfect game from Bron by any stretch of the imagination. Way too many turnovers, areas of his game where he looked like he was 39 and he was winded. He's still racking up triple-doubles like it's nothing. Austin Reeves, a solid game. Dalton Connect, a solid game. D'Lo, for as much as I have found times to run my mouth about D'Lo had a really nice game. Gabe Vincent was actually hitting some shots, and I thought hit a big shot in a big-time moment. It's a good game for the Lakers. It's a good win for the Lakers. And frankly, if I'm going to be honest here, San Antonio looks good too. San Antonio's got a ton of guys outside of Victor Wembanyama, who was 28 and 14. But they got a number of young players that contribute, that play hard. It's actually kind of fun watching that team play. And a lot of these guys I don't know all that much about, but they look comfortable and they look like they're going to be a team that will be in the mix in the Western Conference for years to come. So let's get started with a post-game show. I will, first off, I'll start off the show by saying this. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, if this is the first time that you've been here, or maybe you've followed me for a number of years, I was with ESPN for a number of years, 710 ESPN in LA. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys being a part of the post-game show. I just ask one thing: subscribe and like. If you can subscribe to the channel, it means a lot. This is where all my attention is now. It's on YouTube and it's on this channel. And I got to be honest with you, I absolutely love doing it. So thank you for hanging out here. If you can subscribe, if you don't mind. All right. Let me kind of just give a little bit of an analysis of the game, and then I'll start looking at some of the comments, and we'll go from there. So first thing I'll say, by the way, if you guys notice, yes, I do have the background of crypto. That is correct. Recently I bought a green screen, so this is going to allow me to kind of be wherever the hell I want to be when I want to do these shows, which is fantastic. And this shot is actually a shot from my camera. So it's perfect to have here for the post-game show. I could have it on here. So if I'm not in the studio, then at least I have a good enough background and people don't get annoyed by it. I'm the one that gets annoyed by it more than anybody else. Okay, a couple of the comments here, and then I'm going to keep taking a look at everything else. No 50-piece for Wemby tonight. I'm loving AD. Good to see Christie be impactful. They did it without Rui. You're right about that. Rui, dealing with an ankle injury. Hopefully he comes back here sooner than later. Thank you for continuing to do the Lakers post-game shows. Well, I appreciate you being here. So we'll take it both ways. Somebody complimenting the San Antonio Spurs. I was impressed. It was a couple times I'm like, I think Lakers are going to pull away. And then Spurs would go on a 4-0 run, 6-0. A lot of runs in this game. A lot of runs. One team goes on an 8-0 run. The other team responds with a 7-0. And just kind of back and forth, but a well-played game from both sides. Sometimes you watch a game in any sport, NFL, MLB, whatever it is that you watch, whatever your sport is. But sometimes you watch a game and you say to yourself, it's like, it's not that you don't want to give credit to the other team, but if your team loses, you obviously feel a certain way. I thought tonight, I really didn't know what to say. If they lost the game, a lot of that I would kind of give credit to the San Antonio Spurs, but obviously we don't have to worry about that in the post-game show here. This is what I'm going to start with in tonight. What I'm going to start with is Max Christie, which I know sounds a little bit of a surprise here. Anthony Davis dropped 40. I just said he's the best player in the league. LeBron had his 4th straight triple-double. He's 39. He's in his 22nd year. He's never done that before. And I'm going to start with Max Christie. I'm going to start with Max Christie for a specific reason. Man, I feel good for him that he had a nice game. I feel good for him that his confidence level right now in that locker room, by the way, he was one of the ones closing out the game as well. So it kind of shows you the confidence that J.J. Redick, what a smart coaching move from J.J. Redick too, to say, this guy's playing well. He's given me the proper effort. He's a plus 21 in the plus minus, higher than any Laker that was out there. Let me reward him with trying to close out this game. You're going to tell me right now as we sit here, Max Christie is not sitting back in that locker room and he doesn't have a feeling about himself, just maybe a little bit of a relief. He's got to be saying to himself, damn, that felt great. That felt great to contribute. That felt great to log in 30 minutes. He got 29 minutes, 31 minutes, whatever he got. That's got to be great for Max Christie. And I think we all just watched as the season started, the attention was, hey, Max Christie is going to be a role player, right? Like he's going to contribute this season, right? J.J. Redick was talking about, other people were talking about it. Everyone was taking shots at Darvin Ham and saying, yeah, look, this is what's going to happen. Max Christie is going to be a part of this team. And Darvin never gave him an opportunity. You know what ended up happening through the first 11 games? We're 12 games in now. Max Christie was irrelevant. I was joking around in the last game that him and I had the exact same amount of minutes. The same minutes that I played last game, so did Max Christie. That I don't know if he's going to get off the pine, especially if Dalton Knecht is playing a little bit better. Hopefully at some point Jared Vanderbilt is back. I don't know if Max Christie is going to get many more opportunities. Rui's out today. And yes, Dalton Knecht started the game, but Max Christie came in off the bench and instantly he was effective. The reason why I want to point at Max Christie is because you got a feel for a guy that might be pressing a little bit too hard, might be getting inside his own head and saying to himself, geez, am I going to get another opportunity? Why can't I play well? Why am I not playing well once these games start? My God, the confidence level from the coaching staff. Do they no longer have confidence in me? He could at least rest for one game or one night because Lakers got another game coming up tomorrow against the Pelicans, and he could freaking walk away and feel good about himself. Really, really nice game from Max Christie. I'm happy for his contributions. The Lakers need a player like this to come off the bench who's young. Guys, go look at the whole league right now. And the San Antonio Spurs is a perfect example. There are so many good young players in the NBA right now. And the model and the blueprint when you go up against the Los Angeles Lakers, just run on them. just out hustle them. And you got to have players like Max Christie and Dalton Connect and some of these other role players. They have to have some impact. You can't get nothing from these guys. And if I look at the bench as a whole, Lakers got, doing the math in my head here, 24, 32 bench points tonight. I don't remember too many games where we could say that about the Lakers bench. Max Christie had a lot to do with that. So I just want to give Max Christie credit because, frankly, I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to give Max Christie credit. But if this is one of those games where we can highlight Max Christie, then damn it, let's take advantage of it. All right, I'm going to get into some of the other players. Dalton Connect, another 14 tonight. 6 of 11 from the field. He played 26 minutes. Gabe Vincent finally hit some jumpers where you felt like, and it's been a while since we felt this way, where you actually felt like you felt like Gabe Vincent wasn't a negative when he was on the court. You didn't feel like, well, why don't they just leave Gabe Vincent open? And if he hits a bucket, then we'll take our chances. He actually hit a couple of shots. He was 2 of 4 from the field. Didn't take a crazy amount of shots. That's not part of Gabe Vincent's game. But 3 steals for Gabe Vincent. By the way, Max Christie had 2 steals as well. So at least from the defensive side, you had both of those guys. If you got 5 steals, D'Lo with 3 steals as well. Damn, that's pretty impressive. I didn't see that coming. 8 steals from D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, and all those guys came off the bench. So shout out to Max Christie. Gabe Vincent gave some meaningful minutes where I think everybody for at least one night can say, all right, we'll leave those 2 players alone. And then D'Lo. Let me say this about D'Lo, and then I'll start getting into the stars here in just a second. I didn't know how D'Lo was going to react coming off the bench. I didn't. And to be honest with you, long-term for the Lakers, I have no idea. But he had some timely buckets. Still dropped 6 dimes tonight, 13 and 6 coming off the bench. Did end up getting 30 minutes, so he got starter type of minutes. Nice game for him as well, making it happen, dropping the dimes. You heard Richard Jefferson during the broadcast spending kind of a lot of time talking about how smooth of a player he is, how important of a player he is. I had Brian Windhorst on this morning. So for those who don't know, I'm doing the show now on YouTube Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Every day, every weekday I'm doing a show. Brian Windhorst, nice enough to come on the show today. He was my guest. And we're having the conversation about D'Angelo Russell. Look, he did say not much value of D'Angelo Russell in around the league right now. But he also said that the Lakers and D'Angelo Russell, they have a marriage where they're probably both better off being together than not together for now. Now, can that change? Of course it can. But D'Lo, as much as, you look at him and he has some of his struggles and you're frustrated and whatever the case is, there are also times where he does contribute and there isn't really a shooter there really isn't another player outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis. Reeves can certainly have his moments, but D'Lo's a talented-ass player. He's just not consistent enough. He had obviously a big part to do with tonight's win as well. I guess overall, I'm just having a difficult time finding anybody that didn't contribute. You could say Cam Reddish. He was a minus 18 plus minus. That's not good. And he didn't score a point. He was over 3 from the field. But you had 4 guys other than LeBron James and Anthony Davis contribute. You had 4 guys other than those guys be a part of it. All right, let's take a quick listen here. I am going to share my screen real quick. Let's listen to JJ Redick talking right now.
And making sure one of them is always on the court. And I think when we made the initial change, and obviously the starting lineup has changed since then, but when we made the initial change and got him with AR, I think that's been really good for us with some second unit guys. I think the biggest thing that we've kind of seen as a staff is as we continue to sort of build out the offensive system and play calling sheet, it's very easy to then get him and AD the ball in the right spot, or have AD rolling with a empty side or with a single side tag. Like it's like every ATO we draw is out of our formations. It's all out of the system. It's not like I'm drawing up random stuff. So, coming out of timeouts, I think we've done a really good job with those 2 guys, making sure they get the ball in the right spots.
Game. All All right, so I do think at the end of the day, I do think the Lakers basically won this game to simplify this. They won the game clearly just because of the other guys that contributed. Because, I was listening. Who was I listening to yesterday? And they were on First Take and they were talking. I want to say it was Shams and it was Shams and it was Stephen A. And part of the conversation was, hey, if LeBron and Anthony Davis are playing at this level, they can get to the conference finals. It was something along those lines. I didn't agree with it. In my head, I'm like, no, that's not how they get to the conference finals. LeBron and Anthony Davis, that has to be a given. The question is going to be the depth of the Lakers. The question is going to be, are there other players that are contributing? The question is going to be, how many different players outside of LeBron James and Anthony Davis are there every single night and making it happen? And if you get contributions, Max Christie was in double figures. D'Angelo Russell was in double figures. Austin Reeves gave you 19 points, 6 assists tonight, shot 6 of 12 from the field and hit some big-time threes for the Lakers. He was 5 of 9 from the three-point line. Dalton Connect is another player that was in double figures. That's 4 guys outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis that were in double figures. So you got to give a lot of credit to all those guys there. Let's take a look at some of these comments here, and we'll keep going. Slee gets some shots up. Which side is it? Is this side? Give me the rock. Give me the rock. Just swing the ball over. That's what I know, but swing the ball over. Right. But I was open in the corner, and you didn't hit me. Okay? It's a 2-on-1 break. I'm in the corner. Hit me. Nobody passes me the ball. Nobody passes me the ball. You know what I mean? I'll get out there right now. Don't think I won't get out there. This is my corner. Bench needs to step up tomorrow. We'll spend a little time talking about that game in a little bit tomorrow. But Laker fans, I'll tell you this. They're 1 win away coming up tomorrow against the Pelicans of starting the season out 9-4. That's very, very impressive. And the Pelicans got 39 guys that are injured. So I fully expect the Lakers to take advantage of that. All right, let's see a couple more. Christie going to sleep good tonight. Damn right he is. And he should. Like, I don't know what else to say here. Sometimes you see a guy that's struggling as much as he has so far this year. You just want, can the guy have a good night? He had a good night tonight. All right, let's see some more here. Sliwa showed up in the wrong arena. Where's the game at? Well, so they're not here. They're in San Antonio. Okay, nobody told me. Am I all of a sudden an actor? All right, let's keep seeing here. Why is Bronny traveling over Quincy? Nepotism. First off, Devil's Night, thank you for the super. I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. And number one, I think you answered your own question. You know exactly why Bronny is traveling over some of the other players. Do I think any of those? Do I think Quincy's going to play? No, I don't think Quincy's going to play. Wemby may be an alien, but we got a Predator and AD. I'm going to talk AD in just a second. Spurs are for real. It's so funny. I'm kind of the same way here. As I sit here, I'm saying to myself, I'm like, I didn't know the Spurs were. I didn't know they had this much talent. I didn't know they had this many young guys outside of Wembanyama that kind of ball out. I know Chris Paul is on the team and Harrison Barnes, but I don't think those guys are going to hurt him. First off, they're not there long term. They're just there for this, short amount of time. So I don't think it's really going to hurt them, to be honest with everybody. I think at the end of the day, they're just trying to get veterans around some of the young players, and they're doing that now. Get back on D. I don't play defense, bro. I'm all offense right now. I'm all offense. That might have been the most disappointing thing I heard today when I was talking with Brian Windhorst. Windhorst, like, basically this squad's got to start playing defense, or you can't really take them seriously. You know what I mean? And I get what he's talking about in that regards. This team does have to start. If they can't hang their hat on a little bit of defense, the reason why the Warriors got off to such a fast start. I know they got a game going on right now. Reason why the Warriors got off to such a fast start. The reason why, go down the list, Oklahoma City Thunder, the Boston Celtics, all these teams lock up. Cleveland's got a pretty good defense as well. So that's something that the Lakers are going to have to figure out. All right, I waited long enough to talk about the I'll do AD last. I want to do Anthony Davis last. LeBron had 15 points, 16 rebounds, and 12 assists. He was 6 of 12 from the field. He went a long, long stretch without hitting a bucket for the Lakers. So he went a long stretch without hitting a bucket. Eventually got a layup on a pass from, I want to say it was Anthony Davis. And, he obviously did his part. A couple things about LeBron. First off, there's the absurdity of him continuing to have this much impact this late in his career. That's absurd. No really other way to talk about it. It's absurd. And his stat line even tonight is absurd. The 15 points, the 16 rebounds, the 12 assists. I think he's top 3 right now in the league in assists. Top 3. In the entire NBA, he's top 3. I want to say who's up there. Jokic is up there. I'm missing somebody else. And then it's LeBron doing what he's doing from an assist perspective. So that's obviously insane in itself. He has 7 turnovers. That's also an insane number. So it kind of takes away your turnover ratio. Can't be 1.5 to 1. For every assist that you have a turnover as well. So he mentioned it, on the ESPN broadcast. He talked about right after the game. That's going to change. That's not going to happen. Don't worry, I'll correct that. He gave a lot of love to the other players on the team, but those 7 turnovers, it's impossible not to highlight that because that's a crazy number. That number doesn't typically happen. But LeBron, again, he gets his 4th triple-double in a row. It's the first time he's done that in his career. So been in the league for 22 years, doing what he's doing. He's about to turn 40 years old. We know his career, 39 years old. He's never in his career had 4 straight triple-doubles. Who the hell would have thought he was going to get that this late in his career, at this stage of his career? Who would have thought that's when he was going to get it? But he did. So that's impressive in itself. All right, let's talk about the best player in the world right now. The best player in the NBA right now. Listen, I'm not watching every game from Jokic, and I'm sure somebody out there is saying, have you been watching Jokic? I get it. I'm not watching Tatum every single night, and I know the Boston Celtics are stacked, and he's getting off to a great start. But here's what I can tell you from Anthony Davis. Of all the games we've watched, it's not even close who's been the best player on the floor every single night. It's been Anthony Davis. I don't care which team they've played. If Lakers lost a game, it's not because of Anthony Davis. It's not. He's been incredible. Now, what did he leave? A couple nights ago, gets poked in the eye and doesn't finish the game. Lakers end up winning that game against the Toronto Raptors. Watching him play right now, I don't know if anyone can make an argument that this is not the best player through the first 12 games. 12 games doesn't mean anything. 12 games doesn't even mean you're, anywhere even close. What are you, 10, 12% of the season? It's not like he's going to sit here and everybody's going to kick back and say, that's it. Anthony Davis, he's the MVP this year. But so far this season, every single night, he's been amazing. He's been great. And tonight was no different. 40 points on Wemby. I was hyping up this game because I was genuinely hyped up about the game, and I was genuinely hyped up about the matchup. He had 40 and 12 tonight. Had a couple of blocks and a steal on Victor Wembanyama. Wemby's going to be a stud. Nobody's questioning that. Wemby, by the way, 28, 14, and 5, and he's in his second year in the NBA. Had 5 turnovers. Made a lot of mistakes as well for as good as he was, but he's 13 to 25. Takes a ton of threes, 12 of 25 from the field. Takes a ton of threes. Took 13 threes, went 4 of 13. Wemby wasn't better than Anthony Davis tonight. He shouldn't be. It's only his second year in the league. AD got to the free throw line, 10 of 12. AD hit 50% of his threes, a couple clutch ones, or at least the second one was clutch. Shot over 50% from the field, 14 to 26. He's looking like the best player in the NBA. And he's been consistent. He's doing it every single night. He's doing it on both sides of the floor. So this is not one of those games, or it hasn't been a start to the season where you're like, all right, AD plays a couple good games and then there's a bad one. AD plays a couple good games, but then he's gone in the fourth quarter. AD, how do you not take a shot in the fourth quarter? Or what happened to Anthony Davis in the second half? That part hasn't happened with Anthony Davis. Can it happen? Sure. But this consistency for this long so far has been impressive. There's no other way to put it on the AD front. All right, a couple things on team stats here. And then we'll see if AD or Bron talks. I'll try to pick it up from Spectrum. Lakers 14 out of 31 from the three-point line. Yeah, that's going to get it done. How about they shot 50% from three, 50% from the field, 45% from three, 78% from the free throw line. You're not losing too many games like that. The only problem is San Antonio was toe-to-toe with them, 49% from the field. They shot less from the three-point line, 38%. But San Antonio was impressive. I did not expect that from the San. Spurs had 32 assists in tonight's game. Lakers had 27. Both really, really good numbers. Clean game, 12 turnovers, 13 turnovers, so nothing crazy there. And then Lakers won in points in the paint. So kind of breaks it down from that perspective. All right, let's look at some of these comments here. Let's see what we got here. Redick makes this much different with same roster. He's pulled a lot of the right strings, I'll tell you that. He really has. I do think there's, something about, I was mentioning it as just one example. I thought the Max Christie thing, I thought, hey, how impressive is this? Keeps Max Christie in at the end of the game. He's rewarding him for what he's doing. Little things like that I'm a fan of. So, yeah, I don't have a problem at all kind of looking at it from that perspective. All right, let's take a quick listen here. It's, by the way, it's so early, so who knows. Here's Bron talking after the game.
Played better ball in this road trip than we did our last road trip. And, excuse me, I mean, they played extremely well on both sides of the floor. And but we kept our composure. We got stops, timely stops. We executed down the stretch and made the plays we needed to make to win the game.
Obviously, triple doubles for you is nothing new, but 4 straight is. What about this one in particular stood out to you?
I was not in a good rhythm. I mean, offensively, I wasn't in a good rhythm, but, being able to do other things. The best thing about my game is that I cannot have any rhythm offensively and still make an impact in the game. And I was able to do that tonight.
What's more surprising for you, that you did it in season 22 or that it took 22 years to do it 4 straight?
Probably that I did it in season 22. To still have the energy to do that and the effort. I mean, it takes, a lot, but also it takes some great teammates along the way too. Those assists only happen when your guys are making shots, and I just try to put the ball on time, on target, and then defensively rebound and just trying to help on the glass with AD and the rest of the guys, sprinkling a little points from time to time. But waiting 22 years to do something is wild. So that's a good question right there.
All right, we'll keep going here. So got a chance a little bit to hear from Bron. Like I mentioned, they got a stat up here on Bron. Last 7 games, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 11.7 assists, shooting 55% from the field. I'm going to go back to something somebody was talking about with coaching. JJ Redick is basically having this much more success with basically the same roster. Look, I've been impressed with JJ so far, and I don't know how you guys feel specifically about him, but there's little things that he does that I feel like, well, that just makes sense, or that's just common sense, or he's not taking his foot. Like, it feels like every game to him is wildly important, even though it's the regular season, even though it's an 82-game stretch. Maybe he sees the value of, we got to get up to a great start. You can't take one game for granted just because we're in October or November. I've been a fan of, I think some of his rotations are also, this isn't working, I'm going away from it. Max Christie is not playing well. He's sitting on the pine. Dalton Connect's playing good. Give him more minutes. D'Angelo Russell, this isn't working in the starting lineup. We need some help off the bench. Come off the bench. And I don't think he's, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but it doesn't sound like JJ Redick is hesitating on any of his moves. I'm going to make a move. If I'm wrong, then I'll correct it. I'll fix it. But the more moves that I make, or the more moves that I feel like are the right moves, there's going to be some that don't work along the way. I'll learn something from it, and I'll move on from it. So I think you can't really say, it's a brand new coach that just came to the league. He's never coached in the NBA before, never coached at the college level. We can't sit here and say, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be great. But I think it's a good start for him. Like I mentioned, an 8-4 start to me, I talked about this yesterday, that if You started out the season 8-4. There can't be a Laker fan out there that would bitch and complain about it. Maybe somebody would, but if you did bitch and complain about it, you're wrong on it. What he's doing right now and how he's been able to start the season out 8-4 with this team, with the roster, figuring things out, trying to incorporate a young rookie. He's got, for the most part, no production off his bench. That part is impressive, and maybe a lot of it just has to do with the elite play of AD. Maybe that has a lot to do with it. Okay, I got a couple of these that I starred here that I want to look at. Slee, what up? Just got another dub. Just keep beating the teams in front of you. Yeah, nothing too overwhelming. I think that's what, when I talk about the Pelicans, like, okay, they could get rid of the Spurs and now they can start focusing on New Orleans tomorrow. This, I think, is an interesting comment. Jokic and Shea are the only players you could say, I forgot about Shea, are the only players you could say leading MVP race over AD. Tatum can have a bad game and they could still blow out teams. You're so right there. If AD sits out for 3 minutes, we lose the lead. They've actually, it's been kind of weird. They've had some lineups recently where I feel like AD is gone to go take a breather and they've still been okay. That's going to be critical, because if Anthony Davis can't go out for a 3, 4, 5 minute stretch, what the hell do you want Anthony Davis to do? He can't, obviously can't play everything. Coach not messing around. Winning is everything. I'm going to give you guys an example, whether it's the best comp or it's not the best comp, but it reminds me of it as well. As you guys know, I'm from San Diego. I'm a San Diego Padres fan. Padres manager this year, his name's Mike Schilt, and did a great job. The reason why I'm giving this example, this dude did not care if the game was in June, July, or August. He didn't care about the circumstances. Every game, it was like, all right, if I got to use my bullpen, if I got to use my closer 2 nights in a row and he pitched, an inning and a half the night before, I don't care. I'm just trying to get this win. And reporters would always ask him, he's like, why are you so all in a game in July? He's like, because that's the only game that I can worry about, because I can't worry about a game on July 18th or 19th or 20th or August. I just have to win the game that's right in front of me. I give you that example because maybe there's not enough of that in sports. I think coaches sometimes get too cute, or they're trying to set up for the next day or the following day. And then they end up losing that game. And it's like, all right, well, that didn't work out. No. If you're in a position to win a game, do everything you can to just win that game. You can't control what tomorrow is going to be. Try to win tonight and then go from there. I think JJ has a little bit of a mentality of, let me just win tonight. And whatever happens after that, I'll take my chances. And that's probably part of the reason why the Lakers are sitting at 8-4 right now. All right, let me see a couple more of these comments here. When AD is out, they're still leading. I think it's coaching. Well, listen, naturally people are going to give a lot of credit to your coach when things are working out the way they're supposed to. All right, let's see what else we got here. 8-4 was unexpected by mostly. I didn't expect it. Actually, I was talking to my cousin earlier today. I would not have been surprised at all if they lost tonight. I really would not have been surprised at all. Again, teams get up to play the Lakers. You're in San Antonio. Lakers, how many road wins they have? They got the win against Toronto. Is that the only road win? I think it's the only road win that they have. So it's not like the Lakers are playing great ball on the road. San Antonio's got to be feeling good about themselves, starting the season out 6-6. So I do think there's a lot of times where, I do think that this matchup coming in, I didn't think was a lock or a guarantee at all. But since you got it, now you can obviously really, really go do some work and take it from there. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about a couple things I want to get into. One of the things I want to talk about is the in-season tournament. If you guys don't mind, I want to get everybody's opinion on here. I may have to just bitch and complain for a quick second, but I don't want to. I actually want to propose a question to you guys because I think I bitch and complain about the in-season tournament too much. And then I want to look at that game against the Pelicans. Real quick, somebody said this. I saw this on here. And then somebody said earlier today that it was happening. That's tonight, right? It's Tyson and Jake Paul. What time is it at? Maybe I'm getting a little hyped up here, and I want to go watch that game. I will say this. Of course, Mike Tyson is going to demolish him if Mike Tyson wants to demolish him. But he might not want to demolish him just because it's from an entertainment perspective. I'm sure they got some kind of agreement going there. Okay, it's the co-main event now, maybe one more hour for main event. Okay. All right. I might have to come back on for a post-game show. Yep, 11:30 Eastern, so 8:30 Pacific. Tonight, actually, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm doing the post-game show analyzing Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. That's coming up later tonight. That's definitely not happening, by the way. Okay, here's a question that I got for some Laker fans out there. What do you guys think of the in-season tournament? You good? Everybody happy with it? They like it? Does it do nothing for them? Does it, hey, this season is so long, who the hell cares? It's fine. It just kind of, what are we doing? We're just changing the court for a handful of games. I did not know tonight was an in-season tournament game. I just forgot. I just didn't pay attention to it. I don't mind the in-season tournament game. Could I just give you one thing that was really annoying during the broadcast tonight? I don't know if you guys watched it on ESPN. I watched it on ESPN tonight. And there's nothing wrong with the broadcasters. They're just doing their job. They're supposed to hype up and pump up that it's an in-season game. They were talking about it like, oh my gosh, look how much more exciting tonight is because of the in-season tournament game. Oh my gosh, this is the cup. Lakers won it last time. Look at the intensity in this game. Look how much harder they're playing because it's an in-season tournament game. Oh my gosh. Stop. Don't oversell it. Just let it be what it is. The courts are a little bit different. You know what? Once we get into that group play, or it's in group play now, but once you get to like the semifinals, those games are actually kind of cool. I thought the finals was kind of cool. Semifinals, finals, that's fun. Let's kind of just roll with that. Let's not overhype this damn thing like it's something it's not. The worst thing that you can have is when somebody's trying to overhype something that should not be overhyped. That to me is incredibly, incredibly annoying, that portion of it. Just let the games be. Let the games be. AD's talking. If AD talks, then I shut the hell up. Take a listen to Anthony Davis.
He's still coming out producing. So, obviously, very professional of him. Professional of Cam. But it just speaks volumes of our unit, how we're, together, and no one cares about, if they're starting, if they're finishing games coming off the bench, like whatever, as long as we get to win.
Just from the intensity standpoint, how much fun was this one? And obviously for you guys to pull it out at the end.
Yeah, it was very fun. We get to play a game like this on the road, especially when we've been struggling on the road. To come in this locker room at the end of the game, get the win. We it was good. I mean, it was phenomenal. Taking steps in the right direction. As far as being on the road. Obviously another tough one tomorrow, but it was really fun. It's what you play the game of basketball for, especially at this level, to compete, in all games. And it was a great competitive game tonight.
You mentioned that you're in a good.
All right, we're going to stop there. I don't know what the hell's going on in the background there. All right, Anthony Davis, another 40, 12, and 2. Let me read some of your comments about the in-season tournament, okay? Let me say this again. I don't mind it. The world's not going to end. It's an 82-game schedule, so the world's not going to end. I just don't need the broadcasters trying to tell me that the players are playing harder and the fans are louder because the court is painted. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. And it's not even their fault. I'm sure ESPN's telling them, listen, we got we got sponsors now for this damn thing. Push it as much as you can. The promos they have are good. I like the ads. The ads are pretty legit. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to read some of these people. All right, it's dumb. It's all right. That's kind of where I feel. It's fine. I kind of feel the same way. Like, yeah, it's fine. It's, world's not going to end. Don't care at all. It's awesome this year. We won it last year, the first to do it. Lakers, let's effing go. We might go back to back. I don't care about it. The games still count. Yes, the games do still count. They count. They're equal. It's like, oh my gosh, look what's going on in the in-season. I'm like, I don't know how much people are looking at it that way. Repeat or bust. BC, this might be the best comment we're going to get for the night. If the Lakers, here's a question I have. Let's say they don't repeat this year. Let's say they don't even get to the semifinals this year. JJ Redick on the hot seat. Are we changing the lineup again? Are we taking another player out of the starting lineup? A lot of minutes for AD and Bron in the first of a back-to-back, but you got to win the game. I don't disagree with you, but could you have played Anthony Davis? AD played 36 minutes tonight. What do you want him to play, 32 and the Lakers lose? So he could have 4 more minutes tomorrow, or Anthony Davis or LeBron play 38 minutes tonight. Play him 33 and the Lakers lose? I get what you're saying. I completely get where you're coming from. I get what you're saying, but I do think at the end of the day, you're trying to get a W, and however you get that W, you just get it. All right, let me see some more here. In-season tournament gives it some extra juice, just like soccer. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with that. I really don't. I'm just not crazy with the overselling it. They should add stakes to random games all season to make things interesting. Winner gets an extra $1 million for one game, another loser roster spot for the next game. I don't think they're going to do stuff like that. I did see this, that I got to read more into it, but while the game was going on, I saw this article on ESPN, and it says sources: NBA in serious talks about tourney-style all-star game. Actually, the idea and the concept wasn't that bad. The idea and the concept was new tournament-style format for the 2025 All-Star Game, consisting of 3 All-Star teams of 8 players each, and the winner of the Rising Stars game, sources told ESPN. The 4 teams would face each other in matchups. For instance, Team 1 versus Team 3, Team 2 versus Team 4, and the winners move on to the final round of the tournament. I wasn't too opposed to that. I actually kind of thought that was interesting. So we'll see what they end up doing. If I give the NBA credit in one thing, you got to try shit out. You don't know what's going to work. What you do know is a lot of people are not crazy about the in-season, or a lot of people are not crazy about the All-Star game. A lot of people say that the season is way too long. So with all that being said, all right, see if you can find something else that works. Okay, let me take a quick look here. Lakers' next game coming up is against the Pelicans. Man, I feel bad for the Pelicans. I really do. I don't know if you guys know how many different players they have out, but I'm going to tell you right now. Pelicans beat Denver? When the hell was that game? No. Did Pelicans just beat Denver? Somebody want to make sense of all this? Ingram leads Pelicans past Jokic. Oh, Jokic-less Nuggets. So Jokic didn't play. I don't know why he didn't play, but he didn't play. So the Pelicans won that game. Let me kind of break down. Lakers got the Pelicans coming up tomorrow. But let me at least kind of share with you what this Pelicans roster looks like right now. Kind of crazy to see, and just unfortunate, but this definitely happens in the NBA. Pelicans aren't going to be the first team that faces something like this. They are depleted as far as their roster go. By the way, for those who, as far as game time goes, what time we got? Tomorrow, Pelicans, Lakers is at 5 o'clock. So something to keep in mind at 5 o'clock. Sammy's going to do a preview video. I'm going to post it tomorrow just because it's back-to-back. We'll probably post it around 10 a.m. Okay, real quick. Here are the Pelicans injuries that they have. Herb Jones out. CJ McCollum out. Jose Alvarado out. Zion Williamson out. DeJounte Murray out. They got phenomenal players that are all going to be out. And, I don't know how long for some of these guys. Some of these guys, it looks like they'll be out for 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. They're going to get reevaluated. I mean, just a mess in New Orleans with a lot of these Pelicans players. So, what I said about tonight, that this game could have gone either way, The Lakers taking on the San Antonio Spurs. It's going to be a tough game. I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if Lakers had lost tonight. They won. It's a good win. It's time to move on. And tomorrow, the Lakers have literally no excuses to walk into New Orleans. They'll fly there tonight, right after they're done with their post-game interviews. They'll fly to New Orleans, and they have absolutely no excuse to come away with a W tomorrow. So I fully expect when we're doing the post-game show tomorrow, probably around this time, that this squad will be 9-4 in a phenomenal position to start the season, and then, see how they can build from there. They got Jazz coming up. That's a home game. They got Magic coming up. That's a home game. They got Nuggets coming up. That's a home game. They really, really have just a tremendous opportunity in front of them to build some cushion in the Western Conference. Not much cushion because, the Western Conference is always going to be competitive. There's going to come times to the season where the Lakers will go on some kind of it's bound to happen, guys. How many more post-game shows you guys want me to do without sneezing? It was bound to happen. So say bless you. Say, Slee, I hope you're okay. Sleewa, God bless you and your family. Sleewa, the way you're pushing through that sneeze is it's very motivational. Go ahead and throw all those comments in because I know you guys feel the same way. But the way, if they're able to get off to this type of a start, and then all of a sudden you start feeling good too, as a team, you start looking at the standings, you're saying, damn, Lakers are 10-4 or 11-4, or whatever the case is. They got some very winnable games in front of them. They've won some good games, and tonight was a good one as well. All right, we're going to read a final couple of comments here, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm past 45 minutes. I'm past 40. If I go over 40, that's just straight overtime. And the great thing is I can't go to somebody and tell them to pay me overtime. God bless the Lakers. Bless you. Sneeze Sleewa. Bless you. I was wondering if a sneeze was due. It was due. They have, I don't know if you guys know this, Underdog Fantasy, they put the over-under on how many sneezes a week, and the over-under this week was 2. So wherever, it was 1.5, actually. It was 1.5. All right, God bless us all. All right, we're good. Lakers might sleep in this game. They can't do that. They honestly, if they lost tomorrow, I will come on here and rip everybody, even you guys, even everybody that's watching. I'd be ripping you guys for actually watching me on such a pathetic performance. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Lakers are going to handle business. Okay, my people, I appreciate it. What are we at? Almost 8 o'clock. I got a big game. I got to go watch Tyson and Jake Paul. I got to go take some notes. Come on, we got a post-game show coming up after that. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Friday night. I hope you guys do the same. Just a heads up, on the channel right now, I cut up some clips of my interview with Brian Windhorst. There's a really good clip on LeBron and how he feels like he's not being talked about enough. There's a really good clip on D'Angelo Russell and his value around the league. So I cut those clips up outside of the hour 5-minute show that I did, but the full show is on there as well. So if you guys want some more Laker conversation, if you guys want some more Laker topics, that's already on there. Thank you so much for hanging out for the post-game show tonight. Really appreciate you guys doing this. Like I mentioned from the beginning, if you guys don't mind, please subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. We got over 26,000 subscribers, and I'm looking forward to making this really my day-to-day and my business here, and I'm excited about what's to come on this channel. So thank you for hanging out on the post-game show. I'm Alan Sleewa. I'm back tomorrow. I'll do a post-game show after the Lakers-Pelicans, and then Sammy Long, 10 a.m. tomorrow, we'll have a preview video of the Lakers taking on the Pelicans. Have a great rest of your Friday night. Let's go watch some boxing. We'll get back with you guys tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody.